My name is Thomas Clark, and I served in the Army, in the infantry. Originally, I'm from Penn Yan, New York. No, we didn't. My grandfather moved here from Sicily, Italy when he was 5. That's where we migrated into New York and then into North Kansas City. I think I'm the only one other than my sons that have served. Well, I didn't tell anybody. My birthday was in January of my senior year, so I went to the recruiter after I turned 18. Never talked to my mom about it. Wanted to be in the Coast Guard. I thought that'd be neat, and they had an 8-month waiting list. And so the recruiter started showing me other jobs after I did IQ tests and stuff, and other jobs that were available and open, because I wanted to go in right out of high school because I needed a job and wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So they offered a $5,000 bonus for enlisting in a combat unit or the infantry, and said that they travel around all kinds of places, and it's a good, exciting job to have, and he talked me into it, and I joined that day on delayed entry, and then went to MEPS up in Kansas City, where you take your physical to make sure that they can sign you up the rest of the way. And that's how I got started. Told my mom about it. Mom wasn't very happy because I'm her only son, and didn't talk to her about it. But later on, she became very proud of me to want to get a job and do something, because we had no money for college or schooling of any kind, and I just didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just knew I needed a job. At Fort Knox, Kentucky. Yeah, that and Fort Benning, Georgia are where your infantry basics are held, which are different than your normal basic trainings if you're just going into regular jobs. They're set up for training infantry. I went from basic training to collective training for 2 more months, which, well, I take that back. It's advanced infantry training. You go for 2 months, and then we went to Fort Benning, Georgia for 2 more months called collective training. I got to come home, I think it was 10 days, and get my truck, and I was to be at Fort Ord, California with the 7th Infantry Division. And after that, transferred, and they moved us up to the 9th Infantry Division at Fort Lewis, Washington, where the Ranger Battalion's at. And the infantry, when we're not in the barracks or anything, which we weren't very often at all, we go to several schools. They have Fort Coronado Island there by Camp Pendleton, and that's an amphibious assault course with the Marines. And that's what we were doing here for a 3-week course, was training with the Marines. Fort Campbell, Kentucky's Air Assault School, they just, anywhere they want to get more training, they just keep doing that. Not trying to brag or anything, but a lot of people never looked at this way, but we were actually professional athletes with no off season. And people don't look at it that way, but we were in tip-top shape, 365. A lot of it's the discipline, it really is. I mean, it's just really a different style of life. And it's a way of building you up and making you stronger so you won't be defeated by anything. And I think that's a lot of what's happened to me over the years everywhere I've worked. I've got a stubborn thing about getting things done and getting stuff accomplished no matter what. And I know where that drive comes from. It was installed in me very young. I do go to the veterans home. You can go there. They have a, it's Dennis McElroy. I think they've changed since him, but he would come on a Wednesday, and he was a service officer, and you could go and stay updated with your benefits and stuff with him. And the way I found out about him was through our church. We had a couple of veterans that went to live there, and so our pastor decided to do go there for an hour once a week and do a Bible study. And so I got to go a couple of times, and that's how I found that out. And then our VFW guys are wanting me to get joined with them. They go to funerals. They're all 75 to 85, a lot of them, and I'm glad they have time to do all those things. So I probably ought to get active with them and help out a little bit and have a little camaraderie again with them. 4 years and then 2 reserves active. Or 88 was discharge date, and I was on the fence about staying in reserves or not, but I didn't. But then the Gulf War came up, and I got a recall letter in 89 to go to MEPS and get a physical and be on call. You know, I was like, what am I going to do? I had moved on from that and was getting used to being a civilian again and not worried about anything like that. The good news was the Gulf War got over a lot quicker than they anticipated, and I didn't have to go. It's a good experience. I would recommend, if you went in, you know, I shouldn't say this, but take an easier job where you can last at and put in 20 or 30 years. The benefits are great. Room and board, clothes, medical, dental, everything 100%. Pretty hard to beat.